Right. Hello, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDO I'm your community manager, Kurt Oven, and I'll be with you for something like the next hour, hanging out, having some fun, solving all the problems, and doing some questing in Magic of Myth Drannor. We're probably going to run House of Gems and see if we get to Voices of the Dead as well. I have a little bit of news that I can talk to you about, and it's been an interesting couple of minutes, but let's get to the news. Let us get to the news, shall we? Where's my seat? There we are. It's even popped up on the screen already. I want to make sure you're aware of the Year of the Dragon August, because you have through September 24th to get your Draconic Raiders reward box. We looked at that last week at the show. I've mostly here's my 1 week later actual real life experience, and that is that I have mostly been picking the Sword of Shadow, unless I already have one. Because it's just such a useful item that no matter what past lives I'm going for, no matter what my main might be in the future, odds are fairly good that if I can use the Sword of Shadow for that build, then that's probably the weapon I in fact want to be wielding. And so just for long-term use, I have largely been going for the Sword of Shadow. That said, there were some servers I already got one. One case because I found it, and in most cases because of the older reward boxes that went around back in the day. So in that case, I would say go with whatever. And I am confused, live stream community, because I had seen Strimtom's video, and you in chat had suggested that the Colossus, the Breaking Wall shield, was undoubtedly the shield that I should go for. Except I didn't actually know what I would lose like 11 AC, and I'd lose a bunch of PR. I'd lose a whole bunch of stuff. So no, I didn't go for that. I ended up just getting a Sword of Shadow for future past lives is what I did. But I don't understand. Were you pulling my leg on this Colossus thing, or what's the deal with the Colossus shield? Because it sure doesn't seem to beat the shield that we're going to be looking at shortly here on Kyber. So anyway, that is happening, but you do need to get it. So log into the game sometime between now through September 24th on all the game worlds. Speak, speak to Zathrall once, and then log into all the game worlds. You'll get your box. You don't even have to open the box; just set it aside. But as long as you get it, you should be fine. And do that through September 24th. Theoretically, once flagged, you may not need to, but the intention in our announced statement is that you have between now through September 24th to acquire the Draconic Raiders reward box, and so might as well do that while you can, and then decide later if you need to what to get. Probably the biggest news of the day, other than the bit I don't actually have any graphics or anything from, and that's our Lamania schedule. I'll talk about that in just a minute here. A new month has rolled around, so that does mean a new VIP loyalty reward gift is now in place. We are, for those who are at the furthest along, you are 4th month completed, and that does provide that 10% item durability board. It does seem to be functioning, and people started picking that up as of last Sunday. And so things are cooking along in terms of the VIP loyalty reward. You can get on it from this ground floor first-time sign-up bonus if you have not been VIP, or if you are VIP, you'll start on this track once you re-sign up. And you can read more about that on DDO.com. So month 4, we're about a third of the way through the list there. For our bonus this weekend, we've got a 5% buddy boost. That means 5% XP for everyone in your party other than yourself who is a real game account. Hirelings don't count, summons don't count. 5% XP per party member or raid group through Sunday. So you've got through Sunday to get up to 25% in quests and theoretically up to 55% in raids. So pretty good. The other bit I wanted to mention is this is your final weekend to pick up the Astral Traveler Patrons Coffer. This is available. We brought this back as a returning coffer item. And this is available through September 8th. And you can read more about that also on DDO.com. In terms of future planning for next week, the biggest thing we have on our agenda for next week is if we can do it, we're working on it, a preview of the raid. So our intention would be that first half of next week sometime, probably something like Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll open up our Lamania public preview server for a preview of the upcoming raid that'll be released in the future after that. But that's the main bit of news for the week, is that we're on track, as of today, to have our first raid preview next week. Otherwise, I just wanted to take a minute to talk about the Discord while I get set up in-game. The Discord has been going absolutely incredibly. We opened at 5 p.m. Eastern, right at the end of the live stream yesterday, or last week. And so far, it has just been an absolute success. Almost no moderation has had to take place. It's been super chill, very cool, lots of talking. It's been very busy. We are, I guess this Friday, almost a week later, as a matter of fact, the next person who joins the Discord is going to make my day for being able to report to execs that after almost exactly 1 week, we will have acquired 2,600 members. Yes, my Discord will hit 2,600 members in its first week in an official capacity here over the next, well, if we're on track here, next couple of minutes. Because we've been having people join about every 10 to 20 minutes at the slow side, so. Yeah. So that's cool. That's cool. That's a lot of DDO players hanging out in the DDO Discord, and we haven't even been able to apply for public discovery yet, although we're ready to do that any day now here. So we're ready to do that. But we haven't had to. We've got 2,600 members in the Discord, and it's absolutely rocking there. I think the development team has really appreciated it. They like being able to, the immediacy of it. I think the community appreciates the immediacy of it. And despite the pushback that legitimate in some cases, pushback we've received on the forums and such about it, the requirement to link a phone number and the requirement to have our moderation settings, frankly, up real high, has in fact paid off to date with a community of not bot and troll accounts and not kind of alt accounts and things like that. So I am going to be opening it up to manual verification without a phone number in the near future, and I'll talk in a few minutes about how I intend to do that. But frankly, the fact that it is a little stricter in terms of onboarding than most Discords you might be used to has also, I think, paid off in having the effect of not having a lot of the crap you have to deal with usually. And so that's been really nice as well, and I think has been part of the Discord's success that we've seen over this past week. So it's been really cool, really fun. Be a part of it if you want to. And as a matter of fact, let me drop this in chat. Nope, that's not it. Let me drop the correct link in chat if I can find it. What did I just do with it? There we are. You could be the 2,600th member of our Discord, assuming you have a phone number. And choose to. So there we are. Alright, let's head in game, shall we? So I am in Myth Drannor on Kyber on my level now 33 fighter. Or Mog. And I'm liking where I'm headed right now on this character. And where I'm headed is I'm going to be headed up to, I think we'll try House of Gems. I think that's the one. If I can remember to get there, but if I get to the other one instead first, maybe I'll run that one instead. But, something like that. See if I can remember how to get there. I'm getting there, because I've been running the saga on a bunch of the different game worlds really since it released in mid-August here. And so I'm getting used to the locations of the quests and the landscape and all that at this point. I'm pretty slow. There's just too many video game maps out there. But
this massive structure was once a banquet hall, home to countless nights of revelry. That was long ago.
Someone is asking, who is asking? That would be, Belgarut is asking if we're gonna get a super cool VIP-only server soon. So we have talked, casually, I think, just in recent weeks about the success we've seen over on the Lord of the Rings Online side with our new 64-bit servers, Angmar and Mordor. One of them is, on the Lotro side, our very first European-located game world as well. And that's a big deal because on the Lord of the Rings Online side, frankly, we have a pretty significant European population. Not that we don't on the DDO side, but it just demographically, it's been a very successful game over in Europe. So that's just sort of how that is. Regardless, we've talked in, I think, recent weeks about the success that we've seen with that and sort of us wanting to do something like that on the DDO side as well. So I am trying to figure out, where does Castle Cormanthor relate to where I want to be? Why am I not seeing it? Alright, well. Which quest is this?
Castle Cormanthor overlooks the ruins.
Zulkir's plan? Well, I was gonna... I could.
Is due to the
Okay, which one's Zulkir's plan? Let me find that.
The enchantments
there we are.
protected the building, but could not
okay, so I'm
prevent
just
the
still too far. Yeah, I want to go east then for the House of Gems. Okay. So that is what we shall do. That is... Okay. Where's my house? Here we go. Maybe? No. Where is my House of Gems? I need to find it yet. I think that's it. Where's that? There we are. There we are. Alright.
The dwarves built the House of Gems as a place where the city's gem cutters could raid.
I have been now, when I've been running on my own, I've been doing Elite. But when I'm running on stream, I've been wimping out and doing hard because I just don't want to... I don't want to be bad on stream much, if I can help it. And so that's where we are. But I'm really on the edge. I really should be running this on Legendary Elite. Maybe when I hit 34, I should do that. So. Oh, did I not get a bulwark? Oh, I didn't get a bulwark. Well, all right. Well, let me change cams here quick and take care of that. Oh no, wrong game. I'm having problems with XSplit as well. I don't know quite what's going on. I guess I know what part of my weekend task is going to be. It's going to be messing with my computer. So... So, like I said, when I'm running by myself, it's Legendary Elite all the way. It's just that when I'm trying to do that and look at the chat room and not be nervous and do all this other stuff, I tend to just... It's a downward spiral sometimes, let's put it that way. And so you don't want to be downward spiraling live on your live stream. And so that's why I sometimes go the easy route. But I go on the easy route, and frankly it is maybe perhaps a little bit too much on the easy side, so... There we are.
Leading the Red Wizard's expedition has hidden his phylactery in the ruins.
There's a
of what
blade
was
trap.
once the Gem
I
Cutters and
just
Jewelers
walked
Guild.
on it.
Now you just need to find the vessel that can
Yes, I agree. I think the Chaos Crawlers are one of the most difficult enemies currently in this content. By a kind of long shot. They just have that attack that's useful. It's about time, though, we fought some actually tough enemies, so I'm kind of okay with it. But...
You alert our enemies!
Alright, stick close, Frogo. I'm gonna need you, buddy. Yep.
It looks like this was a lecture hall, back when this keep was used as a guild hall.
That was kind of flippy. I mean, I guess they were just artisans. They were just hanging out. Here I am interrupting them.
With the first lever pulled, the magics sealing the vault door weakened.
All right. Yeah, that's right. I could mention that in terms of sales here. Let me call that up so I'll make sure I get it right. Yeah, we do have Otto's boxes back as well through September 15th. So I didn't mention that on the news segment of the show, but I probably should have. But we do have Otto's boxes back, so that is something that might be of interest to some people. You feel like there's a big bump in difficulty between Epic Elite and Legendary Elite, huh? So I mean, yeah, but I don't notice that much of a bump, really. I mean, I suppose any kind of system that is going to multiply like that based on character level is going to have bits, but... Yeah, so, it's true that, so you will get back to your legendary level after you hit level 30 when you undergo a reincarnation now, and that's due to the partial path that we are currently on. Since, you know, we are ultimately heading toward a much larger level cap level cap. We'll have a different tier, essentially, eventually, but for now, we don't, and so there's no reincarnation and anything like that. Not that we're promising legendary reincarnation either, but at some point you have to assume we're gonna at least consider the idea. And, for now, however, you just get your stuff back. But it's enjoyable, isn't it? Maybe you don't. I know, you know, there's a lot of gamers, many of them are, there's nothing wrong with this, just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with this. Who are already, like, zoomed up all their characters to level 34, and they're done. I like taking my time. You know, this is the fun bit, when I get to actually experience the bump in XP when I complete these quests and that, so I tend to not be in a super hurry about it. But that's just me.
Ooh, now a dwarf could fashion something from that rubbish.
The water froths as a gigantic water wheel rises to the surface.
Oh, I should mention, this character now has added Sunder to my Hotbar 1 lineup, and the reason for that is it's doing damage due to, I'm assuming it's my epic, let me think, it's on one of my epic destinies. But I took a look at my gear and my kind of current setup when I hit level 33, and I made a couple of adjustments that I could mention. And one of them is I picked up a thing that does extra damage, light damage if I recall, on every time I sunder, and so just free extra damage. So that's what's up with that. I'm normally not a big sunderer user. I'm normally not a sunderer. But
The water wheel collapses back into the water with a massive splash.
right, so where am I headed? I am headed down. That's where I am. I'm heading down, and where is that? Question mark. I also have an underwater breathing augment, so I'm no longer stressing anyone out. Perhaps on the stream, who's like, wait a second. No? Okay, yes. No. Yes. Here we are. Alright.
The lever is pulled, and several ancient mechanisms slowly start to move.
ancient mechanism starting to move. I know what that's like. Yeah.
With the second lever activated, the magical gate blocking off the northern passage slides open.
Okay, so... Alright, I don't need this rest shrine, neither does Bulwark, but let me take a second to show you where I'm at currently on our MOG. This is my level 33 fighter. See, I got 61 con, 63 base strength. Ugh. What did I do just recently? So, right now in my goggle slot is one of my regular random gen. And it's just because I don't have anything better right now. I've got the Wisdom 15 in there because extra saves. That's really it. But, here we go. Hi, Lizzie. Let's have my cat visit while I talk loot. I got the, for my head slot right now, I just recently picked up the legendary Helm of Eternal Day. That is going to be my sun augment for now. I have the Storm's Bulwark in the green augment slot, and I currently have an open colorless. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. The Profane Life Force just gives me an extra 49 hit points. Insightful Physical Sheltering is good. The Undying helps, and the Quality Fort never hurts either. I may have some Quality Fort elsewhere already, though. On the next slot, I'm using the Combat Mastery, Protection, Armor Piercing, and Reflex I get from the War Rune Pendant. In addition to that's where I've got my Topaz of Melee Power right now. On my Trinket slot, I've got a Natural Armor bonus, Quality Con, and the rest is really just useful to be warded against Charms, Poison, Petrification. I've got Armored Agility for an extra 2. That's where I've just got some range power because I didn't have anything else sitting in the green at the moment, so that's just a yellow. And then I've got my Deadly 11 sitting on there right now. My main fortification, that's why I've got this cloak on right now. Because even though it's wisdom, I'm getting my main physical sheltering from that right now, and my fortification. And I've got a Diamond of Insightful Strength 5 in there as well, which is kind of nice. And then my con and strength 14 is being covered by my belt right now. On the ring slot here, I've got the Lionheart ring, and that's for the stunning bonus. Although that gives me insightful con plus 6 as well, which is quite useful. In my hand slot, I've got... I don't need this right now if I could find another thing, but I'm using this despite the deadly already being redundant because of the double strike. And I believe the armor piercing is also redundant. Yeah, because of the War Rune Pendant. So this will eventually get swapped out to something else, but it's what I've got right now because that's where my 15% double strike's coming from. At the moment, my boot slot is open, but I'm just using it for dodge and jump. For this at the moment, this is only on because of the lesser displacement, because why not? That's pretty useful. For my wrists, I'm using the Dumathian's bracers, and that's for the elemental resistance. The dexterity doesn't hurt as well. I also have an accuracy 20 and fear immunity on there. And then for my main armor, I'm using still the plate of the Celestial Avenger. It's just gives me quality double strike along with Death Block, Angelic Grace, Blurry, a few other little bits there too. So as you can see, I still have some work to do because I can swap out, definitely I can swap out my goggle slot. I could swap out my boots, I could swap out my gloves, and I could consolidate a few of these other items once I get better gear that's gonna do that, so that individual pieces which are redundant in my gear layout can be made less redundant. So here's the shield I'm talking about. Everyone was telling me I should pick Colossus, which is a large shield, rather than the legendary Rising Sun, which is the tower shield. And for me, I like the tower shield. As this fighter. Maybe I shouldn't? Am I not supposed to like tower shields? Why not? It's getting me a lot more of everything, and it seems to be better. So that's why I'm using that. But I get a lot of use out of this, besides all the insightful magical sheltering, quality magical sheltering, that sort of thing. It's just... The other one was like plus 22 as a shield bonus, and this is 33. And this had much better damage reduction and everything else. So that's what I'm using for the tower shield. And I'm still using my Morning Lord Bastard Sword for my main weapon. And I've got a reverberation set in there for a plus 2 imbue die. So that's where I'm sitting right now in terms of my gear. It is. It's not bad for armor class. Sitting armor class. 275% for 229 armor class. I mean, this is all pretty middling in terms of PRR and MRR, especially when you look at the Uber builds out there and all that sort of thing. But it's getting the job done. And I'm getting 41% double strike, 30% melee attack speed boost. You know. Yeah, I've got a few bits and bobs here that aren't terrible. So... Oh, I suppose while I was talking, I should have brought out the other thing. Here we go. So right now, this is my Epic Destinies, and you can see this is why just recently I updated this to apply a stack of vulnerability on critical hits. I don't really, this doesn't really do much in terms of the double strike offhand with the shield, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, this is what it is. So, you now deal an additional 1d6 law damage on each attack per epic or legendary that's scaling with that. I beckon Divinity is the main reason for this. I really like this. I used Consecration as a way to keep me alive. I got the double strike boost from that. Whatever on that. So, I may need to pick up the power critical if I can at some point swap it in, but I don't. Well, I can't remember which one had the Sunder thing now, but I'm missing that. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here we go. Using Sunder or Improved Sunder deals 1d6 light damage per character level and applies a Divine Sundering effect. The damage scales with 200% melee power, and the Divine Sundering is minus 10% AC, minus 25% fortification, minus 3 to the enemy's saves, and it lasts 12 seconds, which, yeah, sure, it's only 12 seconds, but all I'm having to do is use my Sunder. So that's why I dropped Sunder into my hotbar here for a little bit, just to kind of see how it all goes, because that seems pretty good to me in terms of some extra damage to add to the rotation, and we're just going to see if we can't prove that out here, really, during this next couple of weeks of playing it.
The vault door is both barred and magically sealed. You'll have to find some other way to open it.
What have you been hearing about a mega server? I don't know. What have you been hearing about a mega server? I don't know anything about that.
The second lever is pulled, and the magics sealing the vault door
Does it transform?
completely.
There are 64-bit VIP only server rumors. Well, let me fuel the rumors by saying that I can understand why people do it. be rumoring about something like that. That would make sense. That's what we're doing on the Lord of the Rings Online side. In terms of the 64-bit worlds. Oh, it's from the Discord visit by Sev. Well, I don't know what Sev may have said during that visit. Sorry, but he did mention that he had done that, so that's not a surprise to me. That's fine. It's cool to see him do that. But he didn't break any big news about something like that. Or did he?
Ripples in the water betray the presence of water elementals.
No, he didn't. Uh-oh. I hear the sound of spinny blades of spinny blade. Oh, I remember this. Oh, well, I remember this. Did I really not run this on the show, on the stream yet? Didn't I have a problem where the hireling wouldn't... find the box? Or wouldn't interact with the box? Oh. Well, yeah, that worked.
The first signal crystal flares into life as the lever is pulled.
Okay, well that stinks. I've been trying to not repeat myself, but I don't have this on my list of having done it 2 weeks ago. But I definitely had this experience on stream, so that stinks. But oh well. We'll do the same thing I did a couple weeks ago and just barrel through it, because I can, because of said PRR. Armor class and such. Alright.
As the submerged gate opens. The spirit Naga uncoils itself from the throne above and begins slithering toward you. The creature hisses angrily.
Yeah, that I talked about as well. Is that you, Druid's Fire? Who said that we also had what's called a fresh start server on the Locher side, which means that no bringing in of transferred characters or items or things like that. That was a progression style game world for that. We would, you know, whatever we might do on the DDO side will be announced later. We could potentially do something different just due to the nature of the different games, but we'll see. But we could do that too. So.
With a final sibilant cry, the spirit Naga falls lifelessly to the ground.
I have a visitor on who's been sitting in my lap for the last 10 minutes who is now struggling to get off my computer desk. Alright. Say goodbye. Hello. 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 Yep. There we are.
You find the phylactery, nestled inside a delicate, padded coffin.
Giants for cow.
Now that you have the Lich's phylactery, you can put a stop to the Red Wizard's incursion. It's time to return to the Elves' encampment to report your success.
What does the 64-bit part mean for me? Is it better graphics? No, although it may, in some cases, allow you to set your graphics higher than you currently have them set. If you have them set perhaps a little low due to degraded game performance of a 32-bit client. You know, if you actually have the graphical overhead, but just have it set low for various reasons, that could allow you to turn it up. But in general, it's just going to be a smoother game experience. At least that's, if everything goes well, it's going to be a smoother game experience overall. We'll have a lot more resources on the server side to take advantage of, which will just allow for a much smoother, better, bigger, more people in it game experience. It's not the magical elixir that solves all problems, but at the same time, it's been pretty good on the Lotro side, frankly. It's been playing really nicely, so. We have high hopes.
Castle Cormanthor overlooks the ruins, strangely untouched by the passage of
You know
time.
what, let's bump this one
Its
up to a little bit.
pristine state is due to the powerful enchantments that protect it. The enchantments protected the building.
I may not get through
but will
this
not
on
prevent
the
city's defeat.
stream today, although I can go a few minutes later.
You pause for a moment, fascinated by what you see. Protective enchantments have kept Castle Cormanthor completely pristine, just as it was before the city fell. But this is no time for reflection. The Lich leading the Red Wizard expedition is somewhere in the depths of this castle. You must stop the Thayians before they can gain control of the Mythil. 3 empty thrones, set into an alcove, overlook this massive hall. This hall feels hollow and empty, despite all the trappings.
Yeah, I talked about that on last week's show, about the pillars of, some of the pillars of challenge related to game performance, one of them being the footprint, essentially, of your character, and the way it serializes throughout the game. And then all the hardware and servers
Several
and such.
angry devils step through the portal as you approach.
Oh yeah, I keep reminding myself I need to pick up one, I need to get my Harper pin out to solve problems just like that, but I keep forgetting to pull it from a cache or wherever I happen to have it. Yeah, I think in general the intention is to largely do what we did on the Lord of the Rings side in terms of the process of bringing it into fruition. So things like over there where we had a preview through the Bullroarer client, it would probably be the Lamania client on this side. And none of that, I think, is anything too surprising. But I think in many ways that's the intention, is to mirror that experience that worked when it worked, which was largely what it did. So.
As you enter the magic zone.
So, have any of you had the opportunity yet to read the new 2024 D&D rules? They hit, what, D&D Beyond this week for certain premium members and what have you? I haven't had an opportunity yet myself. I've been keeping somewhat along with all the live streams and videos and things, but only a bit.
The devil starts to fade the moment it falls, showing that it was summoned here deliberately. Yldranath sighs as he gets to work. He'll prevent the Red Wizards from accessing the power of the Mythil, while you find and defeat the Lich.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what is happening here with D&D. I'm looking forward to a lot of the updated rules and what they just announced, the Forgotten Realms books for next year and things, and all that sounds great. So should be a lot of fun. And with my son getting into D&D at the moment, this could well be the time for him to pick up that fresh new rule set, and that can be his addition for it. So. Yeah, the old school 2024 rule set. Oh, that was on the first internet. Experiment 3 has some hit points. Also, if you hear my cat meowing in the background, yes, my cat is very upset with me. She probably doesn't particularly fond of any of you right now either, because the human is not taking her outside. So. It's true, you know, if you think about it, none of us have ever really needed. D&D was always the friends we made along the way, so, you know. Do you even need rules? Do you? Do you really? I have Beckon Divinity, and might as well. I'll show you one of the many reasons I really like Beckon Divinity. Let me get my auto attack going, so I can mouse over it for you. It's an epic moment, and it resurrects the rest of the party. So if I'm the last one alive, which sometimes it might be, there we go. On top of that, every time I'm struck by any type of damage, like say for example, if I'm being smacked around the room by Experiment 3 while tanking on this character, I'm healed for 46 positive healing. And for the first 10 seconds, I'm immune from all forms of CC, which can sometimes be an issue for these sorts of battles as well. It does only work once per rest in terms of that Beckon Divinity raising enemies, so particularly when it comes to hirelings. Occasionally they might die more than once. It has been known to happen that occasionally a hireling will die more than once in a quest, and then before resting again. And there's not much you can do about that. But otherwise, boom, you hit the button and there they are. And I also, part of the reason, I don't, have people been thinking I'm weird for going into Divine Crusader? I don't care. This is the other reason why. I really like this 6x second wind that helps me out. And then on top of that, I get into Consecration, which besides doing a little extra damage as an AoE, heals me and keeps me up as well. So between the self-healing I have, the Last Stand here that I've got, which also does some positive energy healing for a period of time, and all that, it's a character that both, for me, has pretty high armor class and all the rest of that kind of thing, but then also has the ability to be somewhat survivable and self-heal, even on, say, like Reaper, although less so on Reaper. But that's, I have been liking this character, and anyone can criticize any build for anything, but I think it's been going pretty well, so. Wait, what did I just say about hirelings dying more than once? I mean, I know it rarely ever happens, but poor Bulwark has fallen victim. I mean, then again, maybe it's like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, right? I mean, if you die that often, after a while, it's like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not really a big deal. I'll be right back. I can walk in front of the train this time. It's fine. And, you know, I mean, are they wrong? Hey, you do not talk bad about Bulwark, or I'm ending this stream right now. I will turn this stream right around. Bulwark is a friend, a valued associate and ally, and the most healingest DV provider I've ever met. He's funny, he likes to play pranks like run through acid pits and spike traps, you know, for fun. Aha, look at me, he says, occasionally. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about Alvareth either. I suppose Alvareth is alright. As long as you don't eat spell points.
Anything that would help in slaying a giant.
Wyo is great. I like Wyo at level 20, but you know, Wyo can't run with the level 30 somethings. It's like a generational gap there. He doesn't want to hang out with us level 32s. We don't even know what a skibby toilet is.
With honor.
I have been of the impression, and maybe I am completely incorrect, but I've been of the impression that the crests are randomized into which one of these rooms it is. Either that or I just can never remember which room it's in. I don't know which is more likely. What were we talking about? Something about generational issues? But I'm not a monster. I take that as a personal insult. Experiment 1. Yeah, Lurifay is great too. I really do like DDO's hirelings. I know we'd like to joke about how functional they are and some of the challenges in getting them to work. I think it's also worth remembering when this game was released and when hirelings came out and how they're run. You know, there's no chat GPT going on. It's a lot of kind of manual work and iterative work that has taken place over years and years. So they've got their issues for sure, but at the same time, they're great. And I think DDO would be a lot worse without them, so. Besides, you don't want them to be better than you, do you? Not really. You really want your hireling to be better than you are at the game? Start selling Elminster as a hireling. Okay. So, I know I'm running a little long on the show. I guess I'm just going to complete this quest. I'm kind of hoping I could die here soon, though, so I can get my negative 25 levels back. But this character can be somewhat challenging to die as well. So tell me about your build. Well, I mostly focus on getting negative levels. So, I'm a level -7 fighter. And, Albertha's Restoration. Okay, fine. You get me there. That can be a little challenging to kill me, but occasionally I do. You're saying if Albereth was here, none of this would be a problem. I hear that. I hear what you're saying. This is more anti-bulwark slander. There we are. Alright, crust of the sphere. So I don't need to worry about that. I did. I think. I did, yes. Thank you for asking if I picked up the crest that I dropped. I would that is definitely something I might do. But I did in fact do it right this time. So, last weekend was the long Labor Day holiday weekend, and then we had a shorter work week this week. And I spent most of last weekend just online, mostly keeping an eye on the Discord, although it went so well, it ended up being really just a fun time rather than anything stressful or busy or particularly time-consuming. And so that was great. It was so relieving to kind of have the Discord launch, and it all basically worked, and it worked well, and people were enjoying it, have been enjoying it, so fantastic, right? But I did spend most of the weekend in the Discord, and when I'm just spending all weekend playing the DDO let's work by watching the DDO Discord game, I ended up playing a bunch of DDO myself, just kind of hanging out and getting these sagas done on the quest. And I'm trying to learn them. I'm trying to learn to be a better DDOer. And so that's been good. It's been fun. But that's what I did all weekend, really. It's just kind of hang out and watch the Discord and hang out with people and do that. This weekend, I think, is going to be lawn mowing and some of the things that I put off doing last weekend. But it should be a good time nonetheless. And I'm sure I'll be on the Discord too. One of the things I'm going to be most curious to see if it happens, and if it doesn't happen, that's fine. It's not like, it's not like it means anything for our financial well-being if people don't want to use voice chat. But I'm curious. My main bit of feedback from the first week of Discord is I kind of thought the voice chat rooms might be more popular than they've been. I've seen some people use them, but I haven't seen a ton of people use them. And I don't know if that's just that everyone's on their own Discords, or if they're just using DDO's in-game voice chat, problems and all, and they're fine with it. Or if they're just using text and don't feel like they need voice chat, or maybe everyone by this point who might be potentially speaking in voice chat already has a solution, so they just don't really need the DDO Discord. And that's all good options. I mean, that's perfectly fine if that's the case. but I would have expected to see a little more activity on the voice chat Discord. It's also possible that people just kind of haven't ingrained it or used it. They're a little nervous about being one of the first and what have you. So I think we'll see. We'll see. But it's been really cool. It's been really good. Even if people aren't using the voice chat. Yeah, so in particular, I was thinking of pickup groups. Because it is a relatively easy solution if voice chat doesn't sounds bad. But then also a lot of times pickup groups have you don't need voice, whatever, you know. And maybe that's fine too.
Anything that would help in slaying a giant.
There's my crust. Alright. Yay. I might as well do this for posterity. Oh, you're right. I guess we did this week. Steel Star did mention Dragon Disciple. We've mentioned Dragon Disciple back in the producer's letter this year, but the current plan of it being a monk archetype is new news that really kind of by accident slipped in the Discord. Sometimes it happens where if you're a designer and you've been working on it for months and months, and maybe you don't know what all has been said on live, but it was fine. It was totally cool to say it. So turns out we were fine announcing it. So Dragon Disciple being a monk is going to be pretty hot. At least I think that's the case. We could always change our mind. I mean, that's the problem, of course, is we could always change our mind. Do whatever we want. We'll see. But that's the current plan. Yep, Steel broke some news in that regard, which is fine. Is that on the other side? Maybe it's the other side. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay.
3 empty sockets are built into the back of the 3 thrones. The 3rd crest is placed. The wall behind the throne slides aside, revealing a staircase down.
I did it again. I'm so dumb. Alright. Also, what is that door? That door's bothering me. Okay. Where are you, secret door? Oh, this is the optional. Right, right. Well, yeah. Alright, fine.
The stone floor crumbles to dust as you step on it.
No, you didn't have to come down here. I'm fine. Yep.
Judging by the plain walls and unplastered stone, this area was only meant to be seen.
treasures wait inside.
You know, I think in the interest of time, I should not do this. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn around and just do the rest of the quest here. Let this section go.
Flecks of crystal, like stars, reflect in the ancient stone of this cavern. The floors are worn smooth by centuries of use.
Now, I have a couple of spell point potions for just this reason. So that if I need to, I can quick chug one and hit consecration and such. These bone guards can be real tricky, for sure. I have a lot of hit points too. Kind of struggling with them. Oh, I need to stop the negligence. That's what I need to do. I guess I need to get a... So for a while I was wearing the negative level absorber you get from Necropolis. I can't remember which one that is, the one that had like 8 charges or whatever on it. And I've been using that for a while. Man, my show was going super long today. I guess I shouldn't have tried to fit 2 quests in, but whatever. There we go. Should be fine. don't have anything too major going on the rest of the day here yet. Alright. Yay. This is a pretty long quest, though, is it not? Alright, well.
Caskets fill the many niches set into the walls of this chamber.
White Plume Mountain, Bluto, optional, quickest, death ward, clicky, etc. Yep. You're actually looking at a negative level absorption, though, more than a death ward clicky. So I've got a... pretty sure I have a death ward augment on this character. Also, this Consecration stunning undead is often quite useful for me as well. Good way to kind of clear out a room of undead skeletons or zombies, that kind of thing. Yes, you're right. So I have a death block augment which prevents instant death effects, and rather than a death ward spell, which is what you would need to prevent that. Although even so, you can have some negative level effects that aren't directly related to death effects. There's a few out there. Mostly though, I like to usually just have a negative level absorption item to take care of some things. And death ward, of course, if I got it. Potions or whatever. Alright, nice. So, now, we're headed... Oh, to the shrine I could have done without having to
A
do that.
gentle breeze and the faint
That's
tinkle of
fine.
bells
We'll
suggest
still
that
use
the
the shrine.
boundary between this realm and the Feywild
You too,
is
Frogo.
in this location. This
You
might be
too.
a good place to rest.
Bulwark. Oh, Frogo has got to come back to life. Come back to me first, Frogo. Now Shrino.
A withered
Alright,
form
let's see how this goes, huh?
patience over a magic circle etched into the floor. You've found the Lich, leading the Red Wizard's expedition to the ruins.
Ah, you're back. Earlier I gave you an opportunity to save your own meager life. You should have Don't think of it. You face Lich, and not just a Azul Gears. The meteor will be
Our clan knows what you did them proud.
Let's do that. Not a great start, I will admit.
A cacophony of sensations wash over you. Cross into the wild waters.
Sorry. Being a little quiet because I am concentrating. I'm doing my best. I'm trying! With the battle cry of, I'm going to try my best. I rally Frogo and Bulwark to the cause. And they're like, alright, we'll be here.
of the dead magic zone walked over you, leaving you feel disconnected from the world for a moment.
Uh-oh. Is this the end? Yeah, alright. Okay, what do I want to do? I'm getting there. I'll use a spirit cake. Sure could do without that, that's for sure. Wait a second. It's too hard to inspect enemies' Aragorn. Okay, well, that's a great suggestion. I just meant I want to hose where you don't need the Lich to follow the pipe the Bone Guard to the D zone, then it will strip his protective buff off the Lich. Oh, okay. So in here? No? Okay, well that's where I was. People were telling me I was in the wrong place. I want to take out the mounts, at least if I recall, because they heal, right? They'll heal. Maybe there's some other quest, but I think that's this quest, right? that they healed him this time.
Slams the gaunt form of the Lich across the floor.
Whew. Alright.
A disembodied voice fills your mind.
You only delay the inevitable. Destroying my physical form gains you nothing.
Wonder where fine
Okay, got a legendary.
Bound to my phylactery.
Good enough, I guess.
Time my
And that,
body will reform.
my friends, is going to do it with Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I'll be continuing to quest in Myth Drannor in the coming weeks. We've got our raid preview set for next week on Lamania. We'll have more information in the Lamania forums about that. Hope you're enjoying the Dungeons & Dragons Online Discord, 2,600 members plus, and having a good weekend in DDO with a Buddy XP boost and more. Thanks so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, consider giving us a like and a subscribe. Help spread the word about what we do here. I'll see you next week. Have fun.
Fae is powerful, and its agents are everywhere. You wonder when you'll encounter the Red Wizards again.